guys, welcome back to the latest episode of Gut Check. Again, a huge thank you to all of you who are supporting me as I get this channel going. It really means a lot to get messages from people and hear that my stories are resonating. In particular, it was really cool to get a few messages from a few people who opened up and shared their mental health stories with me. Getting a reception like that tells me that what I'm doing is meaningful and keeps me motivated, so please keep that coming. So today what I'm going to talk about is tattoos and mental health. And I want to go over this because getting tattoos has been a really crucial part of my recovery from my mental illness. So I thought if I shared why I have my tattoos, we might be able to get a discussion going about them and their therapeutic value, because I think that tattoos are very powerful and can have a very therapeutic effect if you get them for the right reasons. So I have 4 tattoos right now. I'm going to talk about 3 of them because these 3 are all milestones in the trajectory of my recovery process. So this first one I got is a purple ribbon that expresses awareness for ulcerative colitis and other irritable bowel diseases. I decided to get this when I was at a point in my recovery process where I was really starting to accept that I had gotten ulcerative colitis in the first place, because it was something that was really easy for so long to just shut out and pretend hadn't happened to me, especially since I had gotten it in such an acute and critical form. But these 5 weeks where I really had the disease and where it was really impacting me severely. So getting the tattoo made it a lot more comfortable for me to talk to people about ulcerative colitis. It was a conversation starter, which I'm sure those of you who have tattoos know is a really cool thing about them. And I hadn't really talked to many people before who had ulcerative colitis, so it was really cool for me to post this on support groups I was on, like Facebook support groups I was in for ulcerative colitis, and get some connection out of that. The second tattoo I got was a few years later, and it's this one here on my forearm. This one, there's a long story about. I might even do a separate video on it because, oh boy, I could really get into this. So this tattoo is inspired by a painting by a dude named Hieronymus Bosch, who was, if you don't know him, he was this big medieval painter who made these pretty freaky paintings. He's most famous for the Garden of Earthly Delights, which is the painting you're most likely to have seen. This one here comes from a painting called Terror and Desire. I decided to get it because I had gone through this really gruesome thing where at one point in my recovery process, I got a pretty bad hernia and had to be rushed to the hospital for it. I have this really vivid memory of being in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and actually the hernia was causing me so much discomfort that I thought my guts are spewing out, and I remember yelling at the guys in the ambulance to not take their hands off my gut or else I was gonna die. I thought that was it for me. I thought it was bye-bye for Clark. For some reason, I couldn't stop thinking about this painting while that was happening, probably because I'd found out about Hieronymus Bosch at university the previous semester. I'd been looking at his paintings a lot and reading about him. I really don't remember what inspired me to go, okay, let's take this memory, this really freaky memory, and make an indelible print of it on your forearm, something that's going to freak your parents out and probably your friends. But I just decided to go for it. This was actually only last year, probably about a year ago actually, is when I got this. What it ended up doing, and I think I thought it could do this before going into it, was that it would really just make me more accepting of having gone through this experience, this really freaky thing, which is actually the most vivid traumatic memory I have. So by having it on my arm and looking at it every day over the past year, what's happened is this memory doesn't freak me out anymore, doesn't give me nightmares, and it's really made me a lot less afraid of everything. In all honesty, it really takes a lot to scare me these days after going through that and then getting this on my forearm. I didn't study neuroscience or anything at school, but I've done some studying of the brain on my own, and I think that getting this tattoo and seeing it every day really calmed my amygdala down. That's just my amateur theory. And the last tattoo I got was the most recent, just about a couple months ago now. I got the words "the body keeps the score" tattooed on my chest. Now, I talked about this book last week and why it's so important to me. Again, I'll probably be bringing it up a lot more in future videos. So those are the 3 tattoos I have that have helped me recover from my mental illness. I'd also be curious to hear if there are other people who've gotten tattoos as a therapeutic exercise. From personal experience, I know that there are a lot of you out there, because when you see another person with a tattoo, it's a really easy conversation starter. From what I can tell, there are a lot of you out there who get tattoos for therapeutic reasons. So if that's the case and you feel comfortable talking about it, feel free to leave a comment below or message me on the Facebook page, message me on Instagram, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you like what I'm doing and want to keep updated as I progress, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube page. If you do so, that'll help me reach more people, which would be awesome, because the goal of Gut Check is to help as many people as possible. So that's it for now. Thanks for checking.